So hot.
Drama is all you know.
No, first say what the fuck I said.
So they just doing something to be doing it.
I play the street life.
The nigga just lied for no reason.
So hot.
Hey, welcome in. Welcome to the Trill Academy podcast. Class is now in session. I got two great special hosts with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm from the Neapolitan School podcast.
Big Ant, the spokesman, man. Urban Politicians TV on YouTube. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to my guys at the Studio 56 podcast as well. We've been getting that back up and rolling. Y'all know what it is, man. Familiar face in the place. Shout out to Trill Academy for having me back, for sure.
Always.
Yep.
You missed. Hey, I need that one time.
What?
Stay on your pivot. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times.
There you
man.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Diddy is not guilty. So go ahead, man. Break it down for us.
Yeah.
What's going on? What they saying out here?
So Diddy is not guilty for the main charge that would have got him a lot of time in prison. That's the racketeering RICO charge. It was a lot of predicate things under that. That's where the arson fell in place at and all the other crimes. That was count one. That was the one that he needed to beat to not be looking at 30 years possibly. And they found him not guilty on that one. They found him guilty on 2 out of the 5, and that's prostitution. Now, it was 2 types. It had trafficking for Cassie, and I call her Nasty Cassie, just when I be joking playing. Then I call 50 Cent baby mama Dirty Daphne. That's Jane. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent put it out there. Hey, he made it known. That's his
Put out
baby
some other
mama.
stuff today too.
Yeah. He confirmed it. You know, niggas didn't know it started. It was all over the blogs and stuff. That when I seen 50 Cent posted, I was like, oh, okay, that's really that nigga baby mama then. She really in there. You know what I'm saying? Because they was trying to keep her identity hidden, but everybody aired it out. So both of them had 2 counts where their names were mentioned in this charges. And one was the sex trafficking. The other one was prostitution. And it says not limited to them. Not limited to Daphne, not limited to Cassie. So by Diddy paying the sex workers to sleep with them, that was prostitution. So those are the 2 things he got found guilty on. The other 2 counts that he had from each one of them, they was the same thing, but he didn't get found guilty on those.
I didn't see how they would get the racketeering first off. And the other thing they was looking for was the arson, right?
That was part of the racketeering. It was about 7, 8 things on there, the total.
I mean, who didn't think though? Like I was having a conversation with my wife
read
yesterday. She said she heard it. She's like, they're gonna get him on the prostitution.
She said what?
They was gonna get him on the prostitution.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That was easy to see.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Like they should have just went to trial for that though. Like all this extra stuff they had to put in there, right?
It say acts involved in kidnapping, acts involved in arson, acts involved in bribery, acts involved in witness tampering, acts involved in forced labor, and then it was one more real quick for that sex trafficking, transportation for purposes of prostitution, acts involving drug distribution. Those are all the predicates for that RICO, for it to be a RICO case.
Do y'all think justice was served? We'll start with you.
No, I do think that the prosecution could have done a better job. I do think he's guilty of all of those things. I just don't think they did a good job of proving that. Yeah, so was justice served to a certain extent?
Bet. What do you think?
I think it was blown out of proportion. Just how they did it, the way they took it to on the outside looking in. Just me giving the understanding of laws, right? You might break a law. It's different laws, levels of laws, but just say a law. Running a stop sign. Okay. Now this is not as extreme. So if you run a stop sign, you run a red light, you do 95 in a 50. Those are all 3 laws you broke, right? So he's breaking these different laws through 15 years. When you sit back and you let them all build up, and then you say, okay, well, we're going to go to the federal level with these things, but if we would have charged him when he did it, it would have just been simple. But it's like they put a whole little situation together, got all his, got the ones that they could, his assistants, his managers, and people on his label. Hey, y'all come in and y'all testify what he did with y'all. So we making it look like he just running a super duper criminal organization. This is what racketeering and RICOs are, where it's like, hey, this is a whole criminal enterprise, and it's don't stop and limit to nothing. We killing, we robbing, we running fraud, we running scams, we doing all that. And then waiting when you put that RICO on it, I feel like, yeah, you could do it with the verbiage and the wording, but it's like, is this really that? Or is this just the nigga who just, hey, I got people that work for me, I do my weirdo lifestyle stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Weirdo.
Well, I mean,
He's a weird Diddy, a nasty
oh yeah,
nigga.
he
he
freaky.
is.
He
That nigga
freaky.
Diddy
He
freaky,
freaky.
man.
Super.
But one would say, well, when you talk about the killing and everything, they're gonna put in the fact that the dude that who they're saying that he put the hit out on Tupac, right?
That's
They gonna
not a part of that.
That's not part of
That's
that. But
not a part
I'm
of
saying
this.
that's what people probably are thinking when they talking about like all the Ricos.
Yeah.
But people were misinformed, right? So to me, I don't know if justice was served. I think justice was served. No, you know what? I'm gonna put it like this. I don't think justice was ever looked for. I don't think justice was ever looked for. And I'm gonna ask y'all this, and y'all tell me y'all honest opinion. It could be just yes or no. Do y'all think there's any victims in this trial?
Any victims?
Yeah, is anybody a victim in this trial?
Ugh, that's a tough one. Dang. I'm gonna say this. I felt like a lot of the people who went on that stand said a lot of, I wanted to be a part of this. You know, I agreed to this. Whatever the reason was, there was still a point in time when you were okay with it.
Yes.
So, but I can't just say that. I mean, were there victims when it came to what he was being charged with? Maybe not, because even with the prostitution, I'm like, you know, prostitutes agree to have sex with people for money or in exchange for different things. And if that involves your woman getting freaky with the prostitute, then that's what y'all agreed to. But I mean, when it comes to like other, I feel like he said, to take it to a federal level, it's like y'all made it seem like y'all was gonna come with a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I'm still sitting up there waiting. I'm like, oh, this is, you know, the first week, oh, this is the icing on the cake. Then I'm sitting up there like, okay, well, where is the cake? Because I'm still waiting on it. And it never came through.
And that's what everybody's waiting on. They waiting on the other shoe to drop. And everybody like, oh, that's it? Like, I thought y'all had some real stuff going on here.
Yeah.
What do you feel? You feel like there was some victims in this?
I think there was a time where people were victimized, as in Cassie and Daphne. Because I keep it 1,000. If you beating the shit out of a woman,
Yeah.
she's a victim.
Yeah.
Right.
Diddy had put his hands on Daphne before, put his hands on Cassie.
Right.
We saw the video. In that moment, she was a victim. But once you agree to something, you with it. None of the niggas in here are victims. If you got paid to come have sex, you agreed to it, nigga. And you do it more than once, I don't care who you is. In them type of situations, as niggas, you is a volunteer. You are no longer a victim, nigga. You volunteered your services, and that's just what y'all did. So that's not a victim at all if a nigga is ever allowing himself to come have sex in front of men. As a man, can't no nigga force you to do nothing sexually. That's just what that is. So I don't care about how they try to put this or spin this. Can't nobody tell me how to think. Can't nobody tell me how to process information and how to feel. Them niggas was not victims. Now, beating on the girls, this and that, coercion, finessing, running game, a 38-year-old getting on a 19-year-old, is he turning out? Of course.
Yes.
Nigga in real life, nigga know this. You know what I'm saying? I got little nieces, I got a little sister, I got little cousins. Hey, if a nigga come around and he 40 years old talking to my little, I'm like, hold on, nigga, what you doing?
You already know what you doing.
I can't force her to stop talking to the nigga though.
Yeah.
It ain't breaking the law, but I know something ain't right. I done
little
been
weird.
19 before.
Yeah.
That's a little weird, my nigga, what you really got going.
Right.
You're turning eye, whatever. Cool. That's that. That's not illegal. And is it morally right? Depending on who you ask. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
just one of them things. So I'm going to look at it funny. Do I feel like Diddy's a control freak? Of course. Him and his team is admitting that, hey, Diddy has a bad attitude. He's got a bad temper. He's a control freak. They've admitted he's domestic and a domestic abuser. They admitted all of those things, but putting it to the scale of racketeering and spending the rest of your life in freedom, spending the rest of your life in prison because you have a freaky, disgusting, nasty, alternate lifestyle, I just didn't agree with that. And when it's all said and done, we'll see how it play out. Diddy he's facing 10 each count. They can run that concurrent. You know what I'm saying? Just depends on what the judge say.
They say just pay bond and he out of there.
Nah. He looking at he looking at 10.
Ooh.
He looking at 10 tops. That's the max. But it's prostitution. And when you hear prostitution on a federal level by itself, it's like, all right, that nigga should really just be getting maybe time served with some probation, maybe, or maybe a year or two. By the time the court date is set for October 10th, he's denied bond officially, but October at 3rd or 10th is when the next date for sentencing is. With that going on, it's like, okay, he'll be getting pretty much over a year time served already, and if they give him 2, that's another year in there, 3-4 years. It just depends. Federal is different. We'll just have to wait and see on that. Or they could come in with some other stuff. You just never know when you playing with the government, man.
But see, the reason why I asked y'all about, is there a victim in it is because I don't know if y'all are thinking this, but I'm thinking like right now it's been a real aggressive time where people just doing money grabs, right?
100%.
Like you got the Tyler Perry thing, you got the Diddy thing going on. Getting to a point where if everybody, because I even seen this narrative coming out, well, like Diddy was going through grief. Diddy was, he still didn't get over Biggie. He still didn't get over, what's the other girl that used to be around him? Can't even think of her name.
His wife, Kim
his
Porter?
Wife.
Was baby Kim Porter?
There you go. And it's like, well, he's still dealing with grief. He's still dealing with all that. Yeah. And it's getting to a point where if everybody's a victim, then nobody's a victim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
so they're trying to say he's grieving. That's why he's
that's what they were trying. Well, that's what I seen somebody trying to spin, right? Trying to say, and I get. Well, the whole saying is you can't tell somebody how long to grieve.
But
that's
you
the first thing
also
they're gonna tell you.
You can't allow somebody. It's not an excuse for you to hurt other people because
you. Oh no, it's never an excuse.
So you can't. That can't be that. That ain't that.
This is what I'm getting at. Like with the people going so hard for them, and that's why I asked y'all. Do I think it's justice, sir? Because to me, if we trying to do justice, right, you want to see him locked up, right? You want to see him tried for his crimes. I get it. Money comes attached with all this stuff. I get it. I'm not saying it don't. But like to me, it's getting to the point where people are like, oh no, just give me 20 million, 30 million, hey, we good. Give me 250 million and Tyler Perry case, we good. Like, so are you really a victim? Like, do you really want justice for what you said happened to you, or you just want the bag? And then once people start getting turned off to that, because that's going to happen eventually. Because as human beings, if we see something enough, we're going to grow numb to it.
Desensitized.
There you go. Yeah. So you're going to have real victims out here not getting that type of love and sympathy that they deserve and empathy that they deserve from us, because we're going to get so burnt out on people just going in, give millions of dollars and be calling it a day.
Yeah.
And writing a book. See, to me, man, I hate to say this because it make it seem like I'm an asshole.
What?
But to me, once you start writing books, and you going on press release, I don't know what your 50.
Well, no matter how you slice the pie, when you file a lawsuit and you didn't file a criminal case, and even then still filing a lawsuit, it's strictly for money. So it's going to be a money grab. Whether it happened or not, you going for the money off of it. And when you going off of money off of your partner that you was with for 10 years, anybody looking at it going to say, well, dang, you was with the nigga for 10 years? Like, like, okay,
see, that's the
thing.
You don't want to get to a point where you, like, blaming the victim, right? We
not. We just calling it like it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, like, anybody could, for instance, right? We on the internet, y'all on the internet, man. And that's the thing about putting out content, too. Anything we say could be chopped up, and so then it can get to a point where they like, you see, they just talking about victim. She a victim, and they treating her like this. But I'm literally just trying to get the thought out in real time. Like, all right, are we saying everybody's a victim? Well, if everybody's a victim, then nobody's a victim. And that's what I'm getting to. Like, we gotta watch how this is playing out, and we gotta make sure that we are giving real sympathy and empathy to people that need it, instead of just like initial, hey, let me hit the facts first. Yeah.
So I guess one of the questions I have sometimes with some of these victims is, like he's mentioned earlier, it's like you go straight to filing a civil lawsuit. Like, why don't you go file criminal charges? If somebody raped you, however they raped you, why don't you go file criminal charges? You go straight to civil. So that right there, it's like, okay, well, what are you really trying to get out of it? Are you really trying to get justice, or are you just trying to get some money out of it?
Yep.
Because you could do both too.
You can.
So
you can.
it's
I think
like,
too, and to be fair to women, I know that there is a thing that exists with women where they go through a mental trauma of being raped or taken advantage of, and they might not have the courage. And I want to make that clear. This is not at that at all. We not, but I'm just gonna keep it real, and I want them to understand this. I know for certain women, not all, they only hear what they want to hear, and they remove words that you say. I'm saying not all, but for certain, what women have to know and understand. I'm not saying I agree with this. The longer you wait, the longer the more credibility you use. Yeah. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying that's how it works. If you don't report it, you don't get the evidence documented, the harder it is later on to come back with your case. I don't create those rules. I'm just speaking the facts of how it works. Yeah. So and when you say that to women, oh, you don't know, you're not sensitive. I say, and I just told y'all that I'm not saying that. That's just the legal system. Yeah. That's how evidence works. I got no control. That's how life works. I don't got no control over that.
If something happened to you, right? Yeah. Then we gonna say not even nothing sexual. Like just say something fun or something happened at a party.
Yeah.
By the time 5 or 6 years go by, that story has changed so much as to what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like. You see it just with regular stuff. Yeah. Like if a dude got jumped in the club by 2 dudes, by the time 5 years go by, it's gonna be I got jumped by 15 dudes. The story gonna keep just
memory. Yeah.
You gonna start creating stuff in your head as to what really happened.
Witnesses died.
There you go. Someone might have died. You know, you losing, like you said, you losing credibility. Yeah. So that's all we saying. Right? Yeah. But again, you can't say these things because why? The minute you try to question that, what do people do? You try to question what happened?
Yo, I don't give a shit. You got to deal with that. If you're gonna be talking on the internet, you got to be ready and know that everything you say, it's people that's watching you on the internet just to pick out what's wrong. You're gonna have people, they always looking first for what you did wrong, where you made a mistake, some flaw that they can find. That's what certain people wake up and do. That's why you got to get up every day and do you to the best of your ability up under God for your preference so you can look in the mirror. Because if you out here doing it strictly for other motherfuckers, you ain't going to never be happy and you will never be able to satisfy everybody. People